Obligatory podcast intro.
Hey, you're listening to 100 Years of Continuity, a show where we discuss comics in their roughly 100-year history. I'm Adam. This is my co-host, Matt. The premise of this show is we read the same type. We don't have to necessarily read the exact same issues, but we have in the past read the exact same issues. This time we didn't really read the exact same.
Kind of.
Oh, I guess we did.
Yeah, we did.
Technically, yeah, you're right.
You're lying to these people.
So we're going to do Batman. It's been around forever.
Do we have to explain who Batman is to y'all?
So like the premise of the show is comics have been around for friggin' ever, and they have continuity in some cases going back roughly 100 years, 80 years more often than not.
Right.
Usually 80. Batman's 10 years off from being 100 or something.
Right, 1930 something.
30 something, yeah. Bill Finger and Bob Kane argue over who did what, who made up what, who's more important. The fact that many other people actually added things to Batman.
Yeah, didn't you say there was a bunch of writers and they were like, or artists, and they were like, oh, I came up with that, but
that
he was
part.
Purple and orange.
So there,
like,
he was like, had a yellow.
Batman.
There was like a guy, he had guns, and
Yeah,
like he was kind of dressed like a bat, but he had crazy colors.
Yeah.
And then they started changing it slowly, and one guy had an idea for the cape, and the cowl was separate, and like, so it was totally a joint effort, and nobody can ever admit that.
Right. Yeah, that they came together
That
to
it
figure
came
it
together.
out. Because even when he came out, remember he had big floppy ears and
it was like a soft, like a little get up. So like the arguing over was it Bill Finger, the one that didn't get credit for many
yes,
many
it was
years?
Bill Finger for many years.
So
all movies, it says Bob Kane.
Yeah, yes,
Most
exactly.
movies. I think the Zack Snyder
New ones
said Bill Finger
as well. That was a big deal. They made like a big deal about it.
Like, and kind of what I've heard is Bill Finger did a lot more for it and got less credit.
Yes. So he definitely got less credit. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Like I said, it's very arguable how much
did
who did.
what.
But yes, I would say they are, after hearing it from every side, I would say they are the two top
That's
contributors
them.
to
Right.
it. There was people that, maybe you shouldn't call him that, or maybe this, little things here and
Yeah.
there.
Do
And
this with his face.
even the editor was like, I'm the one that changed this. And it was in an interview. And the person that they're talking about, it wasn't either Bob or Bill, it was somebody else. And they were like, he didn't do that.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Bill did that or whatever.
So it's totally in the air on
Yeah.
who actually
well,
did
when you're
what.
literally $1 trillion franchise,
Yeah.
then, you're going to want your piece. Or at least your credit, even if you're not making a lot of money off
No,
of it.
I would want to make that money.
You
Off of
deserve to make.
Batman?
That's the
Batman?
thing. You deserve to make that money.
I mean, we've done Spider-Man and Superman, so it's only natural we do the
big
one of the
ones.
other three most
One of
recognizable.
the big ones, the big four. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can go to places in Papua New Guinea that they're not like uncontacted people, but they live out in not a city. Let's say that, in a very rural agricultural area. And there will be kids with Batman shirts playing with Batman toys on little Batman skates.
Or they'll make a mask and be like, I'm Batman.
100%.
Yeah, dude, he's everywhere.
Messy and then Batman. You know what I mean? Like, and it's such a great costume to cosplay as, because all you need is something over your face, and then you need a cape, you need your towel or whatever, your sheet.
And just draw whatever you want on your shirt, your black shirt.
Or your mom buys you a Batman shirt.
Yeah, just a Batman shirt.
The Batman shirt with the belt printed on it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then you tuck it in, and then it looks like
That
you got
was
your
cool.
little belt. Oh, that's baller.
That,
Or the half mask, the flat masks
oh, right,
that
yeah.
you would put on that doesn't, like a dollar store mask.
Yeah.
It just goes
I
on like flat mask.
I have one at home. I actually took one of the filters, the AI filters, and I put the flat paper mask on, and it made me into Batman.
Oh, did it?
Sweet as hell.
You made it do that? Or?
Yeah, because I put the mask on, so it made it part of my face.
Gotcha.
So it looked like an actual mask by the time it was done.
Awesome.
So we read Knightfall.
Yeah, which is not always.
Not.
It's not.
And Long Halloween would probably be one of the most popular.
Yeah.
But it's up there, bro.
So
it's up there.
it's the beginning of the storyline is very popular. The next
Yeah,
series,
yeah.
like Fall or whatever the other
right.
ones, Quest, or it's Quest, Fall, and then what's the other one?
End.
Is it?
Knight's End.
Knight's End and Fall? Am I wrong off?
Nightfall is the entire thing. When the secondary guy takes over, it is Knight's Quest.
Night Quest. Okay,
Night
that's
Quest,
what I.
And then at the very end, it's called Knight's End.
Okay, so Knight's Quest.
And then Prodigal Son or something.
As a child, I know. I told you this, but they haven't heard. As a child, I had. I know 2, but maybe 3 comics where Azrael was Batman. It was in the Night Quest.
Which is one of the reasons we picked this.
Yeah.
Because we thought it was so cool.
Yeah.
And also, accidentally, picked a giant story, a good story of Batman, and all enemies, actually, all the
Even
entire
new
rogues and new ones.
Yeah.
But we somehow picked one where Batman ended up in Houston.
That's true. Holy
which
shit.
we thought was really cool.
It was a meeting. Who was he meeting? It was like 2 bad guys.
Yeah, it was like Scarecrow and some minor dude.
Yeah, they were like, they're meeting
Two-Face.
at a oil refinery outside of Houston.
Yeah, we were like, whoa.
That's accurate. I mean, Houston.
Batman was in Houston, which is very cool.
Houston is oil, so I mean,
Yep.
it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we drink it in
We
the
talked
morning.
about that on Spider-Man too.
Yeah, because they were at the port. So anytime Houston pops up in a comic, we kind of freak out.
Because it doesn't.
It doesn't ever. We saw
not
Deadpool
normal.
singing Ghetto Boys, who are from Houston, and we
That
thought
was
that
enough. That was enough.
we thought
Well,
that was
he
the
did
coolest
it in a
shit
comic
ever.
first.
He did it in a comic.
He did Ghetto Boys multiple times in the comic.
Yeah, he did.
And that was like here, if you're a comic book nerd here, you're like calling your homies like.
Yeah, to be like, dude, Houston
explaining
got
it.
kind of a mention.
Yeah, just like a
It's cool.
small shout out.
So when Spider-Man ended up in Houston, we freaked out. And then when we were reading this one and I came across the Houston bit, I was like, dude, we accidentally picked
It's like
a Batman comic that he ends up in Houston.
It's like a minor footnote of the story,
It's
like
very
ultra
small.
minor.
It's
Like
not-
it has no importance to
Yep,
the story.
None at all.
They're there for the 2 seconds, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we take what we can get.
But that's really cool.
You know what's crazy is Dallas gets way more love for Texas than we do.
Yeah, but still not enough.
Austin gets mad love.
Yeah, but yeah.
And then little towns
San
get a lot
Antonio,
of
too.
actual shine in Texas.
Yeah, they do.
Where I feel like other states, the little towns don't get shine.
Oh,
Like
well,
we
not
get
at
shine.
all. No,
Yeah.
not at all. We just
Whenever
get
they
no
did,
love here.
We talked about Batman Incorporated earlier. Was there a Texas based?
No, but it probably
Batman?
would have been
the
like
South. There's one for the whole
the
South.
Bat
right?
Cowboy or some
Oh,
bullshit.
it would have been terrible.
It
You're
would have
right.
been something stupid.
You're
like
right.
That. When we just should have got a badass Batman.
We could have had like a little Filipino dude or anybody. You know what I mean?
We
It's
brought
Houston.
this up before
It's-
about a Houston superhero, and you wanted to make him Asian.
I did.
It's on one of our other flipping pages.
It just makes
episodes.
sense to me.
To
When
make him Asian.
Yeah, I just like growing up. It was like white, and then Asian and black were probably about tied for like just people like population wise. And so like growing up, it was like Asian was like one of the 3 main races that I saw all the time.
Yeah, same.
I mean, obviously, it's Houston, and if you don't know, if you're not from here, Houston is the most diverse city in America. They can say New York, but I don't know how they decide it. So maybe it is New York.
Yeah,
to
maybe
be
we
honest.
can't say that, but we are extremely diverse.
I've heard it. I've heard multiple.
I've
from
heard U
multiple
of H
places.
is one of the most diverse campuses, like
Yes.
colleges as well.
We even have a full black college just downtown.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that's
Like
true.
we got fucking. We live in the suburbs, and we got a college over, like a couple colleges over here.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, Houston's got, I know this is tangent, but Houston's got crazy amount of education and crazy amount of healthcare.
Yeah. And they just never get represented right.
No, ever.
But Batman was here, and that's fucking cool
hey,
as
Batman
shit.
Houston, woo!
That's really cool. So, Knightfall. Now,
Yeah.
this is a very
Outline
large...
it.
Is it an event? Or is it just a long storyline?
I would say that the full thing counts as a giant
So
event.
if you were reading a Robin comic, he'd be dealing with this?
He was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically what it is...
I had Robin comics at the time,
is-
and he had a weird haircut.
Is this the introduction of Bane?
No way.
Either way.
Oh,
No, because in this story,
They
they
explain-
hadn't met. He didn't know who Bane was.
I think somebody explains who Bane is.
So
maybe
it
is
goes
in this.
into his intro. So
swear he was
basically,
around
he's
before.
he's a baby. He's in that prison you
Yeah.
saw.
It's close to what the movie.
Pretty much, yeah. He's in the prison. He's haunted by this vision of like a large bat.
Yeah.
And
Not
this
a
is-
Batman.
Not
Like
a Batman.
Just a giant bat.
A giant bat. And this is the basis of his entire hatred for Batman, is that this thing haunted him. And then when he saw Batman, he said, That's the thing that's been haunting me, and I have to kill it. So his initial plan is to kill Batman.
Yeah,
he wants to.
That was the point.
But when he gets to Gotham, he starts realizing that Gotham is Batman's.
Right. Well,
He's like, this city belongs to him. So instead of killing him, I want to break him. Kind of like the movie. He's like, I want you to see me run this.
the one thing that I thought was amazing and doesn't get much shine outside of like the hardcore comic community is Bane went in and started taking out bad guys that were trying to take out Batman.
Yeah, no.
He
So
stopped
that
people.
happens in the mix. So what he does? Yeah, I remember reading that part.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Because he's like almost like Joker being like
Yes,
jealous
exact
of
same
it.
way,
Like, no,
yes.
that's my Batman.
Yes.
So Bane kind of exhibited that behavior a little bit, which was funny.
Yeah, a little jelly of the other guys.
So
taking up
he-
too much Batman's time.
Can it? Yeah. He's like,
That's my Batman.
you Joker, you got him.
He's my Batman.
You got him Monday through Friday with
Yeah,
your little
yeah.
bomb plan.
Yeah, yeah.
I get him this weekend. You're done.
We get the whole weekend.
So don't
whole
break it.
weekend.
Yeah, you know that. Riddler's got Monday. Who's on Tuesday?
Don't call your girlfriend to argue with me.
Like Poison Ivy? Okay, yeah. He'll be busy for a couple days.
yeah.
Because
Oh,
you
man.
never know what they're going to
But
do.
that was just awesome. Like that's
No, it's
that's
cool.
like I said, the Joker does that sort of thing. But
Yeah,
in
that
comics,
jealousy.
that's not something that you see a whole lot.
No, it's not.
that I see.
No, and it would be like a real specific situation. Oh, these guys, a bad guy and a hero have to work together, so
Yeah.
I'll save him, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, you don't see it like this. So anyway, Bane's plan is to... And the plan's hardcore. He breaks all the prisoners out of Arkham, all the small-time guys and the big guys. So
Yeah.
Joker, Riddler, Penguin, Two-Face, Killer Croc, they're all just running around.
And they
Zaz
look
got out.
dope in this, by the way. The art is by a bunch of different
It
artists
is.
across the whole thing.
I didn't see any
They-
that bothered
They
me.
they differ quite a bit
They
from
do.
one to the next, but they were all cool.
They were all very cool.
All
Nothing that
very
bothered
cool.
me at all. The one thing that was kind of a sign of the times is how Bane broke them out of prison. He tied bombs to birds, and they were just dropping bombs. So he has a
I
little
thought it was
henchman.
Rat, but that's Wanted. Or
No,
whatever.
that's Wanted. Yeah, he has a henchman that has falcons.
Okay.
I think his name's Talon, or the bird's name is Talon.
Okay.
and he might be
so
the falconer.
pre Court of Owl's Talon.
Yes.
First Talon.
Yeah, because when he said
First
Talon,
Talon,
I
best
was like,
Talon.
oh, that's him. That's the bird guy.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, the birds are dropping bombs on the prison. And this is very, like I said, a sign of the times. Is that's kind of corny.
Yeah.
And these dudes are just standing on a hill looking at the prison with binoculars. Like they're not... Batman drives to the front door
Like it's 1805
in this
and
comic.
shit. They're
This
just like chilling.
This Batman is not the I know exactly what's going on.
He's been worn
I
down
thought-
before this.
I've-
Before any of this happened, he was
So
already.
yeah, the whole point is what I was getting at was that he basically goes through. I wrote it down. It is
He wears that full out.
10 issues.
Oh my god.
He goes through 10 issues of fighting, collecting, and re-arresting and of all these criminals from small time to big time.
Yeah.
So they really show an emphasis on how tired he's getting.
Tired, literally tired.
Worn
He's
out.
not sleeping.
Bane is like looking at him and he's like, man, if I didn't want his blood, I'd feel sorry for him. So he's even like, damn, this is tough watching this. So basically the all culmination is 10 issues of dealing with Joker and to everyone from Joker
all
to
of
the
them.
small time,
All of
the
them.
Z-list bad guys.
Yeah, Zaz.
He comes home worn out, finally thinking he's done. When he walks in, Alfred's beaten almost to death on the ground and Bane is standing in the living room.
Yeah.
And he knows Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Yeah.
And he kicks the shit. I mean,
Dog
he eats
shit. He mudhole stomps him.
he eats Bruce Wayne's lunch,
Yeah.
bro. Like it is
Drink
bad.
your milkshake.
Yeah, yeah. He drank his milkshake, and he broke his back, which is the big moment of this comic. Spoilers.
The image that's always shown.
The image, yeah, and you'll see it in the movie because he did it in the movie. But Bane picks him up, a worn out, exhausted Batman,
Wrestler
and he
style.
breaks his back.
Wrestler style.
It's
for sure.
crazy. Like it's so
Yeah.
crazy
It
that.
is.
And then Batman is basically, and this is a very long storyline. It's
Yeah.
not just real
Yeah,
quick.
oh my
Like I
God,
said,
yeah.
it's 10 issues of him fighting these random bad guys to the 11th issue when he finally fights Bane and loses.
They have 3 omnibuses that
Yes.
that equal the whole story.
I read damn
I've
near
seen
2 of them.
I've seen the actual because I read it online or whatever, but I've seen them in person and they're huge.
They're giant.
They're not little. They're like a true omnibus. Like they're
Yes.
giant.
And that's what I was saying. It wasn't an event, or was it just a super long storyline? Because it's ridiculously
I would
long.
call it an event for sure.
Because it's all Batman. Because each comic that I read was a Batman.
Yeah.
And then there was a Two-Face one or something. There's like
Yes.
another
Yes.
random, probably
Robin
just a
had comics at the time.
exactly.
too.
Yeah. So yeah, it goes crazy. So basically, Batman is out of commission.
Yes.
For a very long time, and a lot of the issues.
Where does he have to go? Where's he
go?
He goes to Santa Prisca or whatever.
Oh yeah, he does.
Where
He
Bane's,
goes
like the movie.
he goes to
Yeah.
Bane's prison. So
Yeah.
something I didn't talk about is during all this, he met someone named Jean-Paul Valley. And Jean-Paul
Yes.
Valley he works for this order of Saint Dumas, and he's a badass.
He was
So-
really rich. He's kind of like a European Bruce Wayne almost.
Yeah, right. Long,
Is-
luscious blonde
A
hair.
blonde, yeah. They
He's
had
jacked.
to. They had to differentiate him somehow. So they were like long blonde hair,
Yep.
blue eyes,
Blue eyes.
super hot. But yeah, no, he looks like if they were standing next, Bruce Wayne and John Paul Valley were standing next to each other, you'd be like, oh yeah, they look way different.
Yeah. You wouldn't be able to.
I think they're like the same height though.
Yeah,
so that's
well,
how
the
they
same,
were able to
similar
pull off.
build.
They were able
so
to pull off.
as he's being trained by Bruce and Robin this whole time, he has this. Funny enough, he has the Azrael moniker, where he's got a long ponytail sticking out, and he's got just like a ninja outfit on, basically.
Yeah.
And like a big triangle thing on his chest. It
Yes.
looks kind of silly.
It does.
So anyway, once Batman goes out of commission, this guy takes over.
Yeah.
Jean-Paul Valley, Azrael.
Yeah.
He
whatever
takes
you wanna
over as
say.
Batman, and he is a beast.
He uses a
So, like,
completely different uniform.
I love when he starts out. So when he starts out, he tries to be Batman.
Yeah.
He is really
Yes.
legit. Like, I'm gonna do it like Batman does.
Earnestly.
Yep. And then Robin starts noticing, man, he's going a little too hard. He'll like beat someone up and be like, "You're scum."
Yep.
He just starting to do shit Batman doesn't
The
do.
programming. It's the programming
So
from
this
Saint Dumas.
Saint Dumas is like an organization where he has to be like this avenging angel. He kills
It's like Catholic ninjas almost.
basically like the that Grail stuff I read.
Yeah.
Or pestilence, like a assassin arm of the church,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
So, but he gets programming done. He's brainwashed,
Big
and
time.
this programming kicks in. So eventually, he
he's
starts
fighting.
changing his outfit. So he's adding a
Really
glove with
changes.
claws on it,
Big
slowly,
changes.
and then eventually, huge
Full
changes.
armor, full heavy duty armor.
Doesn't look
eventually.
like Batman anymore
At all.
Gordon's like, I don't think this is
He-
the same guy. He was like, has it ever been the same guy? Has it always
That
been
was interesting.
the same
That
guy?
was
Yeah.
very interesting.
So this time he's right. It's totally different. So now Azrael, which is who I like calling him, but
Yeah.
Jean-Paul Valley
Well,
is
he
Batman.
had his own series of comics, and the comics were called Azrael.
Yeah,
so.
that's his other moniker, his superhero
Yeah.
moniker. But again, he kills, so he is trying not to. But he gets damn close
If it
to a
wasn't the
lot of
programming,
people.
if it wasn't the programming, he wouldn't kill anybody. He's
Yeah.
actually a very sweet man.
And so he fights Bane, and it kind of comes to a standstill. They both kind of run off, breathing hard and struggling. So
I couldn't remember.
yeah, they struggle with
Yeah.
each other. They fall off a building, so Bane's kind of like, "Oh,
shit,
you're a
okay.
bitch. I'll get you later."
I'll
And
be
Batman's
back.
like, "Yeah, fuck you too. I'll come back."
Yeah.
So he goes and gets his crazy armor that you mentioned, and
he keeps upgrading it.
he
keeps
kicks
upgrading it.
the shit out of Bane.
Yeah.
He destroys him. It's bad.
That's awesome.
The fight between Batman and Bane is hard to watch, basically, but this fight is just as bad.
It feels like justice almost.
It does.
You
It's
get,
like you
karma
want him
type
to
of
keep
thing.
going.
Yeah.
You're like harder.
Yep.
Like beat the shit out of
Yeah.
him. But he does. I
Yeah.
mean, he damn near kills
That's
him.
awesome. I didn't remember that part.
Oh yeah. Damn near kills him. So
That's amazeballs.
now that at this point, Alfred and Robin are like, dude, calm down. Like
Yep.
he kicks him out of the bat cave. He's like, don't come down here.
Yeah.
Don't mess with me. Who'd he put in charge? Me.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
in charge.
Yeah. Dick's not in charge. You're not in charge.
Yeah, and Dick is doing
He's
his
around.
own Nightwing Robin.
Yeah.
Jason Todd's already
Yep.
dead,
Yep.
and that Robin was Tim.
Yep. Tim's
So
right.
Tim is not the big, strong fighter that
No.
Dick and Jason
Yep,
were.
no.
So Tim is very
He's smart.
mindset.
He's smarter,
He's
yeah.
smarter detective.
Yeah. Batman says he's a better detective than him.
Yeah. So he
I hated that they did that.
they got to give him something though.
because people hated him. So they
They
were
hated
like-
Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Jason was dope. until Jason when he came
Then
back.
they didn't
was
like
dope.
Jason that much either. They voted
That's
for
a
him
myth.
to die.
Nope, that's a myth.
Oh, the one guy did it. You're
That's
right.
a myth. There's
You're right.
one guy who set his phone
You're
to
right.
call constantly.
You're right. I remember now.
And vote no.
Yeah.
Because he didn't like Jason. A lot of people might have
It's
been
like
like,
the
no,
internet
keep
now.
him.
On that's exactly how it is nowadays. Holy shit.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, in the 80s, they introduced Jason Todd as the second Robin. They put a vote in because they didn't think people liked him.
he
and
was
they
supposed
said,
to be the representation of the reader.
Yes.
That's what the entire point of Robin. You're supposed to put yourself in his shoes.
yeah, you're
People
him.
weren't able to put themselves in his shoes as well as the other Robin.
And he was a little colder, a little
It was
more
different,
hardcore.
Which
he was
was
different.
good. They needed to make him
Yeah,
different.
you have to be. So they had this whole call in and vote thing. And if more people voted no, they would kill.
and call it whatever.
They would kill Jason
survey.
Todd.
Yeah.
They had a way to do it.
Yeah.
And what I've heard is that there was a guy who set up his phone or some kind of mailing
old
system
school robocalls. Yeah.
to constantly vote no.
Yeah.
And then they ended up honoring their contest and they killed Jason Todd in a pretty brutal way.
Yeah.
Joker
actually.
just beats him to death with a
crowbar
crowbar.
and then blows him up. He
And
thinks
then
he
blows
gets
him up,
blown
yeah.
up or whatever.
And it's pretty raw.
Yeah.
So Jason Todd ends up coming back as Red Hood, and is
and that
really
runs
cool
into the
character
Outlaws book that I read a few weeks back
for
or whatever.
flipping pages. Yeah, exactly. So Tim is in this one. He's struggling, and basically it ends up going to where Jean-Paul Valley, Azrael as Batman, is basically just taking over the Batcave.
Yes,
Alfred
completely.
and Robin
He
have no
barred him.
Yeah.
Alfred and Robin are not allowed.
no
in.
room to talk. And
Yeah.
then you should know what happens is Papa Bruce comes back and is like, hey, you're not doing this right.
I thought this was important. The whole time, Azrael Jean-Paul is hallucinating that he's seeing Saint Dumas and all that.
Because he's crazy too.
It's part of he's literally crazy, and because of the conditioning and whatnot that they gave to him. So
process.
Jean-Paul Valley is a very nice man, a very rich playboy who didn't really want to do any of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of fell into it. Got the programming in him, blah blah blah. So that's kind of why he's like
going a
that.
little harder.
Yes.
And when the programming kicks in, he goes a lot worse.
Yes.
That's when he's
It's
almost
like
killing
Wolverine
people.
Berserker rage type.
Yeah, and if he didn't have the programming, he would be a fantastic
He would be
Batman.
perfect Batman, yeah.
Perfect. Like you couldn't.
Because he would kill somebody if he absolutely had to, but he would not try to ever kill anybody.
Yeah, he wouldn't go kill the Joker because of anything. He would.
If the Joker was there about to blow something up, and the only
well,
way
if
to
it called
stop
for
it,
but it's not.
he would kill him. Right
Batman
then.
always stops it.
I know.
So to be the perfect Batman, he would have to always stop
Jason
it.
dying.
He was just late, but he wasn't there.
And
But
Jason was
but
mad
you're
about
saying
that.
If you're saying if Batman was there, he would have killed the Joker, but he
Oh
wouldn't.
no,
have.
he wouldn't have killed the
Yeah,
Joker.
he would have stopped
But
him.
Azrael would have.
Azrael would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Azrael's
As Batman, not even as Azrael.
If
like
you
as
played the
Batman.
video game, he was a side mission, or he made
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Drew
you-
on the wall.
Came up, you met him on the top of the roof.
He's
or
got
whatever.
a dope outfit.
He
Very
does.
cool character, but he's not.
90s as
He's
fuck.
not Batman. So
No.
Bruce Wayne heals up in the prison. He
sorry.
comes back and
Yep.
then sets shit right. Basically,
There's a lot of shenanigans with Bruce on the other side of the world, dressing up as like 3 different people.
Yeah, I
pretending to
didn't-
be a lord. We don't have to get into it.
No,
but he
I skipped
literally
over all that.
he literally pretends to be like 3 different people with like 2 different fake beards or whatever. With 2 different beards, he became a million people.
people are always like, "Well, how do you get back to Gotham with no money?
Yeah.
Fake beards.
Fake
that's
beard,
how.
bitch.
Shut up."
Fake beard.
But
bitch.
it's a Batman comic. It's awesome. But like I was saying, it's not the refined, damn near perfect Batman where,
yeah.
hey, I knew what was going on
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
planned for this. You see him messing up. When Bane was standing in his dude was sweating.
Yeah.
And you never seen Batman make that face. Like,
Did he break his back on the stairs? Was
No,
he
on
standing
his knee.
No. I mean, like, was Bane standing on the stairs? I feel like that's
No.
No. Okay.
No. And then once he broke his back, he took him somewhere on top of like a ice cream parlor and was like, I've destroyed your Batman, and he throws him on the ground.
Oosh.
So
I don't
not
even
only did he
remember
break
that
his
one
back,
either.
he threw him off like a 3-story
Yeah,
building.
I didn't even remember that. Oh my God, you would just die.
Yeah, you would be dead. But Batman's
Batman's
super tough.
Batman. And then he comes back and not just is okay, he's like kicking ass.
yeah, he's like stronger than
Lady
before.
Shiva teaches him. He gets some extra training.
Yeah, get some training. He's badass. Should have let Zur-Anar take over. just go beat Bane with a bat. But like, it's funny. He comes back and he's like, "Where's Bane?" They're like, "He's in critical condition." And he's like, "What?" And they're like, "You kicked the shit out of him."
Yeah, right.
And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I remember that." And then he's
I
like,
was drunk.
Azrael must have.
I forgot.
Azrael must have kicked the shit out of Bane, because he did.
He did.
But
he whooped the shit.
It is a big old comic, but it's Batman.
It's so much. It is dope. I know we've said that a bunch of times. Not everybody thinks it's dope.
No.
But it is. There's obviously going to be some duds in 70, 60 issues, whatever it is.
Exactly.
Just an insane amount of issues.
And it's from the 80s, so a lot of dialogue, a lot of chat. It wasn't as bad as some, but it's
the
there.
90s.
90s, so
yeah, early 90s.
a lot of dialogue. It's the same shit to me.
Oh, man, yeah.
Now, Batman comics are not easy to pick up, though.
Oh, we were talking, yes.
So, like, we talked about, how many times... Like they restart the universe, and then they'll restart Batman, but it'll be 3 different titles. It'll be the Dark Knight, Detective Comics, and Batman.
Yeah.
Or who knows, something
They're
else.
trying to make it simple and easy for new people to pick up, and they're also trying to please the guys that have been around forever.
Yeah. Oh, you like the
can't-
convoluted stuff?
Yeah.
That's this one.
Yeah, exactly.
And you still got all that, but I've had trouble reading Batman comics. Now,
my
though,
God, it's a
they got
nightmare.
graphic novels that separate them and say, hey, The Long Halloween is collected in these 2
Yeah,
books.
Yeah.
Here's the whole thing. So that makes it easier. But
Yes.
starting with a actual individual single comic book collection
Oh
of
my
Batman,
God.
it is daunting. But if you can find it and read it, Batman's pretty great. He's really cool. You could go.
He changes so much between authors and
I
stories.
was gonna say you can go any route. Do you want
Dark,
chiller Batman?
Dark. You can go
yes.
super campy. They literally have that Batman show comic book. So like the Adam
Brave.
West.
Oh right.
Adam,
That one.
Adam
Yeah.
West, but in a comic book.
And Brave and the Bold as well.
Yeah.
So
They got
any Batman you
everything.
want, you can find it for sure.
You can go from literal baby Batman, like Batman books that like have 1 word per page, all the way up to like ultra like novels and shit, like not even comic books.
So why Batman? Why Superman? Why Spider-Man?
Yeah,
like
so,
what is it?
So all the people that write comics and are in the business have thought about that and have tried to figure that out. And as you can tell by Stan Lee's terrible record of making up good stuff, they don't know what makes good shit.
Yeah.
It's the time that it's put out. It is
just fits.
It is just the like I said, the time that it was put out, meaning also the attitude that people have at the time.
Right.
Like
Because Captain America was punching Nazis
Yes.
when he came out.
exactly. you play to your crowd or whatever.
So what was it in the 30s that, hey, we need a dark... I mean, I guess...
But he
the
wasn't
pulp-
super dark. He was not compared to the other pulp
Right,
heroes.
right.
He was pretty comparable.
Yeah, not...
He had a gun at the beginning.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that's pretty dark. He's
Like,
shooting people.
Yeah, it was like dark / not dark because it like Ultra Comics code from back in the day.
Right.
It's like, don't make sure 5-year-olds aren't scared of it or whatever.
Okay. So,
But-
is maintained. There's never been a moment where people are like, I don't care about Batman.
True. Throughout like the death in the 90s or whatever, the whole time.
I mean,
people
yeah,
have read Batman.
comics were struggling in the 90s, but Nightfall came out in the 90s, like you said.
Huge,
so
big deal, yeah.
And people, read that. Most people liked it.
I think
like you
technically
said.
that he came out technically before the fall, but it's point
Still
stands.
involved.
Point stands.
It's all there.
Yeah.
In the night.
Point
It's
stands.
part of each other.
So Batman, like we said, has changed a million times over the years by different authors, by different artists. Even artists have had a very big influence on the way Batman's perceived. With DC, they don't get to be super individualistic usually.
Yeah.
They usually kind of have to draw the DC style.
Yeah, we want it to look like this.
Yeah. So you in this particular story, I would say the art consistency is less consistent than any other Batman stories that I've read.
Oh, because there's so many.
But in the same, and possibly because of the same thing, it's one of the best looking Batmans that I've ever read.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of pre-90s, pre-2000s comic books, in all honesty. Like,
big words.
just the way they look,
boxes,
a lot
and
of
all that
dialogue,
stuff.
just a lot of it turns me
Static
off.
images.
This one was awesome.
People standing there like museum pose, just kind of standing there.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot that I don't like about it,
Yeah.
but I had no problem with this.
Yeah.
Like I said, I read quite a bit of it, and I listened to a lot of it as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So I don't know who we listened to, but
I forgot what it was.
yeah. But thanks
It was
for that
good.
video.
It was good. Yeah. So, when you were a kid, was Batman up on your list?
Oh
of-
yeah, for
okay.
sure. Yeah, like definitely. I had comics.
Uh-huh.
I had books. I had
Really?
coloring books. Man, I probably had a costume, tons of toys. Yeah, because the animated series was out.
I never bought one Batman comic.
What?
I never bought one Batman figure.
Really?
Not one.
Did you always have
anything.
them, or what?
Yeah, because my cousin would hand me down shit.
Okay, yeah.
So I got hand-me-down comics and hand-me-down toys, and he was super into Batman. So I got given it.
Mhm.
I was like literally against Batman, even though I was like little as fuck. I was an ornery little bastard. And like I think I was being a contrarian, basically. I was
Yeah.
like, that's what everybody likes. I'm not gonna be like
yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
So
What's
I
your
was
favorite
like,
X-Men? Wolverine. That's
You're
what everyone
stupid.
says.
That's of course what you would say.
Of course.
So I was like force exposed to Batman pretty young. I
Yeah.
was. I mean, elementary school, of course, but I kept pushing, even though I had the shit. So I'd play with the toys, but I didn't want to read the comics.
Right.
I ran out of comics. I got in trouble. I could no longer buy comics. I'm a little kid, and I have to rely on my parents to get my comics. So I have a bunch of comics that I haven't read, but they're all Batman comics. So as I guess in second grade or something, I was the first time I read a Batman comic and was blown away by it and loved it so much and was like a evangelist for Batman, like walking around. Like, have you heard the word?
He's awesome.
Yeah, word of our Lord Batman. Like,
Well, it's just cool because he wasn't a superhero. He's just a regular dude.
yeah,
It's all
okay.
intelligence
Yeah.
and planning. And was
Prep
it
time.
supposed to make you feel like you could do it, or
Right.
that is you, except
The-
you're not a billionaire?
the investigation side of it, that's very real.
Oh yeah, that probably appealed a lot in the 30s. It's
It
like
was,
this
for
noir
sure.
detective. They love that crap.
superhero detective noir. Yeah, that's perfect.
Right, floating through the sky, also doing all the private detective
Yeah.
stuff. That was
Yeah,
probably what
creeping
they ate
around
up.
and using a magnifying glass. And
But like we
whatnot.
said, it's maintained. See, I always loved Batman. My only problem is I have a problem with Batman now.
Yeah, that's what I didn't get to it because so I was super into Batman all the way till probably high school, and then like I think I read a few DC runs like because I was like buying comics like as they were coming out. I think at that
Right.
time, and I hated something. I don't remember what it was, but I just stopped.
I tried with the new 52.
I remember.
But I mean, Batman they're cool if that's what you like. I know people out there love them. They eat them up every single time, but my problem with Batman now is in this world we live in, he decides to beat up street level thugs still.
Oh, yeah.
If it's not his rogues gallery,
Yeah.
he's fighting some
The
regular
lowest
dudes.
level person you could imagine.
I want to see him go after some rich people.
Yeah. Yeah. He needs to.
No, that's whatever. Yeah, he should go after the dude he rubs elbows with. Those are his
Those
people,
are the people
though.
that don't get fucked with too. That's the funny part. Like the street level thug technically always gets fucked with.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
Yeah, but no, let's not go after this evil CEO.
Sitting pretty on his billions of blood diamonds. And
Exactly. Yeah, maybe try go after that guy, Batman. Huh?
Yeah.
Use your money.
Shit. I think it's less
Maybe
exciting
fix
or some
that.
shit. Not
It's,
as many boxing matches.
The last Batman I did read though was the new 52 stuff, and again, it was Detective Comics and The Dark Knight, and then Batman. And I believe I was reading The Dark Knight and Detective Comics. I wasn't reading Batman.
I 100% remember the Detective Comics one.
I
Was
think
one
I
you
might
were
have been reading Batman and not The Dark Knight.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Two different storylines, two different Batmans.
Right when New 52 came out. That's how long ago.
I went and bought those because
Yeah.
I was like, they're starting over.
Yeah.
I get to start
Yeah.
it, and
Everybody was excited.
I
think.
read it and it finished, and then Rebirth started, and it started over again,
Yeah.
and I was like, all right, I'm done.
Yep.
I'm not
I'm satiated.
like Batman's awesome. I'll watch every damn Batman movie, animated or real.
all the animated ones are sick,
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah. If y'all got HBO Max,
Yes.
just watch some of those DC comic
They're
cartoons.
like PG-13. All of them are
Some of them
PG-13.
are
and
the
some of them are.
Justice League Dark is
Yes.
really raw.
Oh, it's so good.
I put one on thinking, oh, I can watch this
The
around my
kids?
kids.
No.
No. Yeah, it
Absolutely
was bad.
not.
I was like, oh, damn, I need
Yeah.
to change this.
Yeah.
So I'll eat up Batman stuff except for the comics.
Uh-huh.
Simple as that.
That's how it's going right now in general.
I mean, there's some classic
everybody.
ones out there. Like, I'd probably buy The Long Halloween again one day
Yeah,
and
yeah.
read that whole thing,
Yeah.
but collect it in a book. No,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
want
want
to get individual issues.
Yeah, it just takes forever.
It's
And
too
like we
much.
said, it's difficult.
It's expensive now too.
Yeah, and then there'll be 5 issues where the rest of the story takes place and it's
Yeah.
not even a Batman comic,
Yeah.
which they do a lot.
A lot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so any thoughts about like where Batman's going?
Ooh.
That's genuine, like something I was genuinely thinking about.
Ooh.
Like, where do you? No, let's not do that. Where do you want him to go? That's a better.
I mean,
like that better.
because they always tease
Or
the
do
like
both.
Batman dies,
Yeah.
and someone takes over
Yeah.
for him. They've done that a lot, so
Yeah.
it's like you can't really go there again.
Yeah.
Old Batman,
Okay.
that's really cool.
So, like, Dark Knight?
God damn it, Dark Knight Returns.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he does it there too. I don't know, man. I mean, you want in the future, it's Batman Beyond.
That's what I was gonna be mine.
You
I
want
was gonna
Batman
say
Beyond?
expand on because they have the comic too.
They do.
They do.
Is it very kiddie?
No,
No,
it
it's
is
a
not.
teenager to
I
adult.
think they came out with one back then that was
They
actually
did.
a kids comic, basically. But if I remember correctly, I think the new one's not ultra
I mean,
kiddie.
shit,
I
80
think it's
years,
pretty
what
normal.
haven't they done?
Exactly,
Dude,
We
he's been God before.
yeah. He's been a White Lantern,
A White Lantern,
Yeah.
yeah. He knew everything
Yeah.
at one point.
like
So,
a representative of a Bat God at one point.
yeah, dude, he's done, like, you really can't. Okay, I know where I want him to go.
Let's
Bring
hear
it
it.
down.
Hey, there you go.
Bring it down.
That's the answer.
Instead of world ending, let me get Joker has a plan to kill 13 people and I got to save them all. Give me that comic. That's a cool comic. Scarecrow's got a little plan going. It's always so epic and convoluted, and when Batman is explaining how he figured out what was going on and planned, you're like, what did I just read?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, he did stop it.
Yeah.
And they're
But
not always
why?
clear, but
No.
that would be cool, man. Bring the stakes down.
Okay. Stakes down is basically the correct answer, if you ask me.
I haven't read too many Batman and Damian as Robin comics. I wonder how those are.
I've read a few, so I'm not going to say I'm any sort of definitely not even an expert, but somebody that even knows that much. But they're like 2 I read, or 3 I read from Ollie's. They came in a pack at Ollie's.
Yeah.
We're cool.
Those
I
were
liked
cool.
it. Damien was I mean, they have him from like a little kid basically, and then now he's like a teenager basically,
Yeah,
or whatever.
and this is after
This
he
was kind
died
of in
and
between.
shit, right?
Yeah, it was kind of like in between that,
Okay.
but it was cool.
So that's cool. I do like all the Robin War stuff. Batman Incorporated, I thought was going to be cool.
I thought that was a genius idea.
it didn't
Execution,
Yeah, it wasn't
great.
Wasn't great.
The
but
idea though.
I love Batman at the head of this, superhero organization of all
yeah.
Batmen
Yes.
and women.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of cool.
Yeah, Batwing was the African one.
Yeah,
He
there's like
killed it.
a Swiss
There
Batman.
was all of yeah.
It's awesome.
That's what we were asking, if there was a Texas Batman, and
Texas,
I don't think
yeah.
there was.
No, like I said, if there would, he'd have
He'd
a
have
cowboy
dumb
hat or
cowboy
something.
hat. He'd have spurs on.
Something
for
stupid
sure.
like that.
Yeah.
It'd
For
be
sure.
like a matador or some dumb
So,
shit.
so genuinely bringing the stakes down for me.
Yeah.
And like I said, literal Batman Beyond. I love it.
Batman
It
Beyond
needs to
is
get
cool.
more love, and then just expand upon it. You know what I mean? You have Batman is alive in most of that. He's an old ass man.
Yeah,
Can't
he's
really-
just older, yeah.
So if you really want, in the comics, say, you can have your Terry McGinnis Batman comics, and then like you were saying, old man Batman comics, where he's not in Gotham at all.
And it's not Terry McGinnis. Maybe it's someone else. Maybe it's like a new character that's not Batman.
It could be even further in the future, past Terry, and now Batman's in a wheelchair and
Or, like,
on oxygen.
Terry's doing his own thing, doesn't need Bruce. And
yeah.
now this is some young.
That was kind of my idea.
Yeah, some young. Make him Asian.
Yeah, make a vision. Always the answer. Always.
So, regardless of any shit we're talking, Batman is freaking rad.
It's dope.
He's always gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
So wherever they do go with him, he's gonna be cool.
All right, guys. So that was our conversation, 100 years of continuity about Batman. You can check us on all podcast platforms, as well as YouTube. On YouTube, you can see the videos or the pictures of the stuff we're talking about. It's helpful, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening, guys, and y'all have a great one.